Hey there. Welcome back to the Metro Icon Podcast. I'm your host, Shawn Kay the Showman, alongside with Mojo. If you guys didn't notice, he's got a fresh cut. Got him a little poodle doodle cut, little Mojo look, little mohawk. Getting ready for an awesome photo shoot project that we're going to be doing tomorrow for little fur parents, myself and Mojo. So a lot of fun stuff that is happening right now, but we want to get this episode out to you, of course, letting you guys know. Make sure you guys are following me on my platforms. You can go to my website, www.theshowman.live, or check out my Instagram of all the latest updates of events that we have going on through the week and shows that are coming up that you guys can come check out as well. Like we do every single week, bingo karaoke both on Tuesdays and Thursdays, where Tuesdays, catch me at the library bar from 9 p.m. to 1 a.m., hosting bingo karaoke, and then on Thursdays at Scout from 7 p.m. to 11 p.m. And if you guys don't know how bingo karaoke works, bingo numbers are read. With every karaoke performance that comes up to sing on stage, and anyone playing bingo for free has the chance to win gift cards to the establishment that they can use towards their tab that night, which is a very, very fun incentive to just doing karaoke. Tonight, as this episode is being released, I'm actually going to be back at the library bar as I was last night doing bingo karaoke. But tonight, I'll be hosting Simply Karaoke for a special Toys for Tots drive at the library bar, alongside with the brand new Big Laughs Comedy Club, which is literally right around the corner from the library bar. So it's going to be a very, very fun time. And Mojo's sad that I'm not going to be home because, you know, he misses his papa, you know. But if you guys are catching this episode before Sunday, August 25th, you can catch me at the Harvest Hall in Grapevine doing this incredible comedy show with an amazing lineup put on by the one and only Gretchen Young, hosted by JVT. We have Jamie Gravitt, who's a phenomenal Austin comedian that I have opportunity to work with, and as well a headliner, a beast of a woman, Megan King. So definitely come out, support. And for many of you who've been asking about checking out one of my comedy shows, well, this is your chance. This is your chance, because I don't get put on too many comedy shows, but when I do, it's always fire. All right. Other than that, y'all, let's get into this episode where I sit down with my round two with the Problematic Paki himself, Sibb Razz. So go ahead, turn your volume up, turn your speakers up. Here's my episode, round two, with the one and only Sibb Shady Razz.
Oh, this stuff is really fresh.
You could do it all. You can't.
Do it all, baby.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Metro Icon Podcast. I'm your host, Shawn Kay the Showman of Doitall Entertainment and DIA Media. And you know what we do on this show. We talk about the world of entertainment and media and the icons that live in it. And we are doing a round two with this very problematic Paki of an icon. Ladies and gentlemen, let's all welcome back the one and only Sibb Shady Razz.
What's going on?
And
Love the applause.
That's what it sounds like usually, Sibb. That's what it's supposed to sound like.
I mean, if I was funny, I would.
Exactly. If you weren't such a diehard feminist on your stand-up sets, you know, you would have way more applause coming towards
I think my sets are way more mild than my Facebook is.
I think it's to your definition mild. It's like a level of like when something's not spicy to us, but it would destroy a white person.
True.
You know what I mean? I think that's kind of a good comparison.
I honestly don't think I say anything horrible in my act because I do mostly clean stuff because of
Your corporate stuff.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
I don't typically do, and even if I do, it's like mild.
Yeah, fairly.
I think.
But if Sibb got to like just take the chains off, you know what I mean? And like Sibb just talks about what Sibb wants to talk about. Oh, it goes. It hurts feelings to people who have them.
I'll say this. One day, I'm sitting there. So, you know, you know how women are. Like, they want to go to
there it is.
No, okay. Let me. They want
Cheers.
to.
We know how women are.
They want to. Shit. No. Okay, so my girl suggested recently, let's try therapy. I'm just like, this is going to be fun. So I'm just sitting there fucking with the guy. And he's just like, I want to talk to you alone. Because he thought I would act different or something. So I'm like, okay, cool. We're sitting there, and he just sat there for 35 minutes straight, and I just talked. And he's like, just tell me what you want to do, this. I just talked. And then next time he goes, I just want to talk to your girl. I said, okay, cool.
So this wasn't like a couples therapy. This was like...
It was a couples therapy for... it was just couples therapy. But for me, it was just like fun time. She wanted to try it. I'm like, all right, let's do it. We got some... the job's paying for it. So it's like, let's just have some fun. Fuck around, right? Like, who gives a shit?
And you never know what you can discover through therapy. You know, I'm a big advocate for therapy.
Right. And it's just like you're just bouncing ideas, and I'm just trying to look for jokes. I don't care if I come up with a revelation of
help me with my set, doc.
I told him. I told him day one. I was like, yo, like we're gonna. Anything come out of this? I'm mostly just looking for material at this point.
Right.
I'm tired of talking about my family and my love life and my, jobs and Muslim people and Indian people and other races and stuff. I want to talk about something like more like serious that,
Well, you're supposed to
that
talk about you.
people think it matters, but really doesn't. Like transgender people or
like Sibb.
Me too. Me too. Hashtag me too.
Hashtag me too.
But no, I'm not even trying to be like, I just did it. I was like, let's just try it, see what happens, right? And it's kind of fun because, so he meets up with her the second week or whatever, and he goes, he is the most interesting case as a psychotherapist. I am very intrigued by what he says and does and how he does it, and sure, it's unconventional, but he gets results.
There it is. There it is. He gets results, and that's the important thing.
Yep.
And damn it, I'm noticing my OBS is delaying. Okay,
you want to start over?
No, we're gonna keep going. We're gonna keep running this. We're gonna keep running.
You
this.
sure?
That's why I have my backup angle right there, no matter what. But
So-
we're gonna keep going.
But I also make sure I'm not hurting anybody in the process.
Sure.
So, whatever it is I do, like, I don't even know, like, what's the most recent thing I did that, like, was kind of unorthodox, but, like, I just do things where I just want to get results, right? So no matter what it is, who it is, what it is, where I am and stuff, like I wanted to get houses, like, I was like, okay, I got to figure out, and a lot of people think they need 20% down, 5%. I'm like, you can just get a house for 5%.
Yeah.
Right. And they're like, we don't want to pay PMI. I said, it's cheaper to pay PMI than pay 20% on a house.
Wait, and educate the audiences. What is PMI?
Private mortgage insurance.
There it is. PMI.
PMI.
I knew that. I was just
It
making
just
sure that
sounds
you guys
like
knew that.
another woman disease like PMS. So,
That's what I thought.
HPV.
That's what I thought too. I was like,
Well, when I first heard it, I thought that too. When I first heard it, I was just like,
yeah, this real estate game be coming with them viral infections, dude. You never know what you're gonna catch.
Yep.
Them PMI and PMSs. It's stressful. I'm actually, now that we're in the month of August and I moved into this new residences, which is a fair upgrade to where we were living in Aubrey.
yeah, you were in a dump.
Just the area. The house was okay. But the area we were not a fan of. But whichever case, I think I was always saying that like I was going to like look into real estate if my like towards 40 when my like showman or my career within entertainment and media like wasn't at the level or caliber that I want it to be. And it's, I'm still managing finances and bringing in a good amount of business, still booking and all that. But I'm like, you know what? I think now is the time to kind of just go ahead and like look into it and just start having it. Because I mean, ultimately, like the biggest thing I want to do is I want to take away Lyft as like a side hustle, just I put fucking stupid miles on my car. So it's just like,
How much? How many a year?
how many a year? Shit.
Or a month?
I mean, so here, okay, let's just get, because I mean, it depends just because, if I'm like traveling out of state, if I'm going like a weekend or, there's 2-3 days that I'm not using the car. And then, like depending on what the gigs I'm having happening that week or whatever, that will determine how much Lyft I end up driving that week. But to give you a gauge, just because I've driven that car from Chicago. I've done round trips from Dallas to Chicago and back, and Dallas to Indiana. And so
I thought you were gonna say India.
I was almost gonna say India, which would have been really bad. But bought it brand new in 2018. It's a 2019, so I mean, I literally brought it brand new, and now I have 243,000 miles on the car.
Holy shit! What do you got? Camry?
Toyota RAV4.
Okay.
Hybrid XSC. Top tier. You know what I mean?
Okay.
I love my hybrid.
Man, I wish I could. I really, really like the reliability of Toyotas, and I wish I could get one, except their seats are garbage.
I like but the new models though are good.
The best seats.
Camry and RAV4, they've definitely upgraded.
I've tried them all, honestly, because I also rent cars. I don't ever take my car anywhere out of state or even within state. I rarely take my own car because. And people are like, oh, you could write off the mileage. It literally comes out to like maybe extra $25 in tax write-offs. So like if I go to Austin, I was like, I'll just rent a car. But by the time I go to Austin and come back, it's like about 360, 380 miles or whatever. And I could just get a rental car. And sure, the write-off's a little bit less, but my car is preserved. I'm not putting more damage to my car.
Yeah. So, I mean, when I go out to Austin... that's the one thing I do like about Lyft, is because you can kind of filter rides to head in the direction that you want to go. So like if I'm
That's
going,
smart.
Yeah. So if I'm going to Austin, I make the trip work for me, rather than against me. So I'm not losing out on any money. So something that's nice is that like, people can schedule rides, right? So you can actually see like, oh, somebody's actually wanting to go to Austin at X time, that I'll be able to get there early enough. Otherwise, I'm just putting a filter on and heading in that direction, picking up rides along the way that is pushing me that way. And then there's a new rideshare app for strictly just long distance trips called Hitch.
Oh, I heard about that.
Yeah. So like, so that sometimes I'm like, if I know I'm going to Austin or whatever, Houston, then I can see if there's a hitch ride and then pick that up, and then that. Depending on what time they're leaving and whatnot. Yeah. And then, as long as I'm in the state of Texas, I can do Lyft wherever I, say I am. So until I, if I'm going on my Monday trips, for my Kill Tony run, like I make sure that I'm in Austin, and then whatever time I arrive, I just have a arrive on time filter to make sure that
you're doing that every week?
No, once a month. One Monday a month, at least one Monday a month. That's what I organize with the wifey. So
one Monday a month.
One Monday a month that I guess I did. I got my Monday last week. No, 2 weeks. 2 weeks ago.
2 weeks ago.
2 weeks ago.
Who are you driving with? Just by yourself? You just pick it up?
I'm going there usually by myself. But the last time I went, I gave Rudy Ventura a ride home.
Okay.
Because I mean, like when I leave, like I'm leaving either I'm leaving like right when Kill Tony's call ups are done. So that's like roughly around 10:15 to 10:30. And then sometime, they have a whole bunch of mics that are happening. So if I can get on a mic like early enough, then I'll make sure that I'm leaving no later than 11:30, right? So that, because I'm driving straight home.
Right.
I'm trying not to get home like too fucking late. But otherwise, for the most part, I leave as soon as they are like, hey.
How many people do they usually call up? 5, 6?
Yeah, I would say like 4 to 6, depending on like the run of the show and how it's going. Because depending on the interview portion is the thing that it can take a long time. So sometimes like those interview portions can go on for a long time, like 17, 18, 19, 20 minutes. Yeah. And so that kind of plays a scale to, how many other comedians that they're going to call up and stuff. But
I think I can't get myself to drive down there. I have like terrible. I don't like driving.
Okay, well, I mean, I guess it's fair.
I don't like driving at all. But I'll do it.
You can take the bus if you wanted to.
Yeah, but what butt?
There it is. There it is. Sibb Razz's gay moment of the show right there. What
What is going to bring
what
me?
butt can I bust?
What butt? I guess I could drive there in the butt, and then
Butt of the bus.
butt of the bus. Yes, in the butt of the bus. No, I could drive there, or I could take the bus there and then just ride back with one of the comics or something. You know, when the
Yeah,
show's over.
I mean, there's enough guys, especially from like DFW, that you'll see like, oh shit, like that. That's why it's like I've been really enjoying it because I mean, I feel like I'm getting to know like a few decent comedians like each time I go there, like new ones and stuff. And so then now when I come back, it's kind of like having that energy of being recognized. Oh shit, the showman's, you know what I mean? Like that shit feels fucking good. And then now like this last time I went, Christy, who is
Christy Romero.
the production director for Kill Tony.
Yeah, I know her.
Like now she like recognizes me. Like, you know, she's like, the showman's here. I'm like, hey, what's up, girl? Like, and then I always compliment her like emceeing, you know, because she always makes her announcements of, hey, if you're first time signing up this line, repeat signups from the comedy mothership, like over here, blah blah blah. And so
why do they have it separate?
Because like
They pull from the same bucket. Everybody, no?
yeah, but like. So if you've never, if like you signed up for either it's your first time signing up at Kill Tony, or first time signing up at Kill Tony at the mothership. Like if you signed up before, but it was when it was at like Vulcan. Yeah, when it was at Vulcan or what's the?
I wonder why they have it different.
I just think that it's like for liability issues because you're being taped in that venue. So as far as your release form goes, you know what I mean? Like for the legalities of it, like. They have to state where they're recording you. You know,
makes sense.
And so, yeah, but whichever case, you know, they're you know always directing the comedians, and now it's always consistently over 200 signups every time.
I don't want to. Well, I'm not worried about not getting picked. It's just the drive itself of it, just sitting there, just screaming in my head. I can't be left alone with my thoughts. Like. Something.
I mean, you don't listen to anything while you're driving, like, you know.
No, I don't listen to music. I don't listen to podcasts. I'm not gonna listen to this.
I reckon I don't blame you because every person that I've ever had on my show, if it's their first time, I know they've never seen a damn episode. They're like, well, I've seen a couple clips. I'm like, yeah, that's the only fucking
That's why I asked you if you're doing clips. I'll watch clips all day. So you know, podcasts are turning into like, it's very similar to turning into like comedy. Mm-hmm. Okay, so you know, you write pages and pages and pages, and then you come down to the 5-minute set, right? You may write 3-4 pages, and then you might come down to a 5-minute set out of that. Mm-hmm. Out of that 5 minutes, you might come down to clips, right? Like 10 seconds, 30-second jokes, whatever, a minute-long joke. Those. So your whole So if somebody likes your one-liners or 30-second clips, they might go look at your 5-minute clip. They're like, hey, you know, Shawn's funny. Let me check out his other stuff. Mm-hmm. Oh, okay, here's one on YouTube or TikTok, right? Oh, this is kind of funny. Oh, you know what? His 5-minute set was good. Let me check out his whole podcast his whole set.
Yeah.
Right? And that's what it's coming down to is like there's a lot of garbage that we talk about that doesn't need to be. So one thing I know some people are starting to do, and that's personally what I would do is if I'm doing a podcast myself, is I would talk like this, and then I'll just start chopping it up. Actually, I've been on some podcasts where I'm like, oh, they never brought that stuff up. We talked about this in great detail, but they chopped it up because they didn't deem it was necessary, or like we were talking about real estate and stuff because like I'm big into real estate. I love dealing with houses and the tax breaks you can get. Like if you have rental properties, you'll never pay taxes ever again, almost never. So, but they didn't think it was good for their audience to know how to save money on taxes, right? For whatever crazy ass reason. So, but that's what like they'll record like an 2-hour, 90-minute podcast, and they'll chop it down to 1 hour, and then from those 1 hour they'll have like 2 to 6 minute bits, and then out of those they'll have reels.
Yeah. I mean, like because I'm a one-man operation when it comes to any of my endeavors, really.
Just hire some Indians.
I know.
Dude.
I shout out to Fuad out in Morocco editing my episodes. But yeah, I do definitely need to. Hey, if you want to become an intern, maybe possibly some paid opportunities. But if you want to help to organize my reels, to help me get them posted and have them more actively put out there in the webosphere, I'll if your reel that you clip gets viral, that is paid opportunities coming your way. If I get paid, you get paid.
So
If I get paid, you get paid.
there's another podcast I did where the guy, what he would do is like, so they'll start recording, and when something funny starts happening, they'll be like, oh, 2 minute 58 seconds. This happened.
Yeah.
They'll make it. They have another guy sitting
it's like
there.
a clip stamp.
Yeah. So they're making notes. So when they go back, it's just quick.
Yeah, that's what we used to do that on Honor when I was doing Honor Don't Care with like John.
Oh, what
and
happened
stuff.
with that?
So I mean, man, it really it was more of a fallout, like because like
Fallout. Y'all were so cool.
yeah, well, so me and John, no problem. Like when me and him are still 100 and we're good. And then when we left Library Bar, we were like kind of looking for spots, and then John had this new spot that he's at in Denton.
Yeah. Oh, he called me over. He told me to stop by. I'm like, yeah, bro, I will. And totally forgot.
There it is.
No, I really like John. He's so cool.
John is the shit. And then so he brought in Alexander Kay and then his son Micah. And like, I mean, which, as far as the new dynamic was concerned, it was fine. Like for me, when it comes to like any situation, I'm ready to adapt.
Right.
But I don't know, there ended up being a thing where like really Alexander Kay and Micah, like especially in the latter half before I left, like you can tell that they didn't care for me to be there. Like they just were like, they were in their own energy. I was pretty much like the more combative, like variant, like differential in that dynamic. They're very similar in nature between John, Alex, and Micah. And then me, I'm like much more different. Plus they're like 3 single guys. I'm the only one that's like capped. So
You're
it's
the
like,
loser. Yeah.
Yeah, right. So, well, they definitely thought so too. So like, they and then the big fallout happened after my roast because Alexander Kay was like, it was just like evident everything that he did and how he treated coming to that show. It just showed that like the man just doesn't have any respect for me at all. Like he came for my roast. I had him on the lineup. He came 45 minutes late. We're waiting for him to start the show.
45 minutes?
Yeah. And then, like, when I called him before, like, when it was, like, after 7:30, I'm like, yo, we're supposed to start the show. He was just like, oh, man, I'm in Denton. I'll get there before I'm supposed to go up. I'm like, dude, it's a fucking roast. Like, you're supposed to be on the dais. Like, all of us comedians have shit that we're saying to each other. I'm like, he knows this, and
Was he just hoping to just show up, do the set, and leave?
That's what it almost seemed like. And then when he finally did show up, like, walked right past the dais and was like, just was gonna sit in the back corner, and I'm like, Alex, the fucking dais is here. And then so he's like, oh, okay, and then fucking goes up there. But this is what broke the camel's back, which you understand, but like
Camel's back. I get it.
yeah. But we had Pilar do a roast for me, right?
Yeah.
Like, and so she and Alex wanted to help her, and he did, like with 2 jokes or whatever. But she was so fucking nervous to like even get up on stage, and like was refusing to at first. Then we called up another comedian. Then finally we were able to convince her. I'm like, babe, it doesn't have to be good. Just read it. Just read whatever you have. I don't care. I just want to hear you. You know, like even just say that you did it,
Right.
So finally she did it. And the 2 jokes that Alex helped her with, as soon as she hits the punchline, this dude stands up like, I wrote that. I wrote that shit.
I hate that shit.
You know what I mean? And did it twice for both of the jokes. And then it just like, everyone was like, the fuck are you standing up for? You know what I mean? And like for me, it's like, it's one thing where you disrespect me. And then I'm like, now you going to disrespect my woman on the one fucking time that she's coming up on stage, and you want to try and turn it around and make it about you. I'm like, yo, fuck off.
She's not a comic. What do you expect?
Yeah. And then I'm like, and on top of that, and like when the jokes went, because the jokes did well, but like, yo, you couldn't even allow her to have that.
Like, what is he hoping? Like somebody's going to give him a comedy special?
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, you wrote 2 lines.
Oh, you did that for her? What? You know what I mean? Like, that's like if, like Tony Hinchcliffe has been writing, he's been the main writer for the celebrity roast for the past 10 years. That's like him standing in the audience, and every single time a celebrity says one of his jokes, he's like, I wrote that shit. Like, you know what I mean? Like, how much fucking validation do you truly fucking need? You know what I mean? Like it was just for me, like that right there, it pissed me the fuck off.
I don't know Alex. I don't think I've ever met him. I don't know nothing. But I mean, just people doing that kind of shit is just screams a lot of insecurity or a lot of like. I'll tell you, like when I do shows with people, I will. When I do shows with people, I will. I'll tell them that, hey, like, you can have, so like, especially like brown people, you'll overlap on some jokes here and there.
Right.
I'll be like, hey, yeah, you can write this joke, you can take that joke, you can take this joke, whatever, you know.
Yeah.
But for somebody to do that to a non-comic, it's just like, well, even anybody, man. Like, if I give you a joke, if I give you a tagline or a punchline, what am I gonna do? Like, hey, oh, I wrote it for him.
Like, again, it's kind of like, what possible benefit do you see that is going to give you any sort of positive acknowledgement? You know what I mean? Like, no one gives a fuck.
So what
You know
did
what I
John
mean?
say or anybody else say?
I did a episode. Actually, I would encourage you to watch, if you were going to watch one episode, watch my last episode or podcast episode with John. It was our round 3 that we did. But this was after On Air Don't Care and everything like that. So we kind of talk about that situation. But John was just like, you know, John responded the way John, like, if he disagrees with you, he will amply let you know why he disagrees with you.
Right.
If he understands exactly where you're coming from, he's going to just start laughing. He's like, yeah, that makes no sense to me. You know, like that's kind of his attitude. So, and he knows that I didn't leave on because of John. I didn't leave On Air Don't Care because of John. Like,
right.
and I was telling John where I was at. I mean, I have these new circumstances. My family comes first. Like, end all be all. Like, my family and my career, you know? And you know, they understand my hustle and my grind. But, like, towards that latter half, On Air Don't Care, it was becoming not as rewarding. And then it was almost like, yo, why am I putting almost all this effort, bringing in my equipment and gear and helping to set up? You know what I mean? Like, I understood my value to the show.
Right.
John very much understood the value that I had to the show. And John didn't want me to leave, you know, but Alex and Micah definitely wanted me to leave. And the way Alex treated my roast, that was testament, like, yo, like, yeah, I can give 2 fucking shits about you.
So are they still doing the podcast together?
They still do it, yeah.
Okay.
They still do it. So
Well, I mean, whatever works for them. you
yeah.
know?
So I mean, the only thing is it's just a different dichotomy now, which was like what pretty much John was saying when we recorded was like the dichotomy that we had where On Air Don't Care became like there was always an opposing thought. I was usually the opposing thought to a lot of the stuff that they were seeing or saying, you know? And so like that kind of dichotomy is now just they're all mutually on the same like bandwidth when it comes to like subject matter. So it's kind of like what real content are you creating when everyone's on the same page? You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And so you know, like again, I have nothing bad to say about what they're doing with On Air Don't Care now that I'm not even in it. Like I fucking wish them all the best. And that is John's show. So anything that John is doing, I mean, but like what, and then Micah, regardless of what he was the youngest one. He was young, and it's kind of like he just really didn't understand me. So I'm like, I'm not even holding it to him. But if he wasn't John's son, I really wouldn't give as much a shit.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
But like, I just was like, okay, that is John's son, but he's also young, and John was just like, he's gonna learn. He's gonna learn. That's how it is. He's like,
they can actually just do a father-son podcast. Honestly, just father-son talking.
Yeah, and dude, Micah's a good-looking dude. Like, you know, great fucking flowing hair, and like he's got that half white.
I
half
smell
Indian.
a hint of jealousy.
No, I mean not at all, dude.
Great flowing.
You
hair.
see this dome? No dance. You know what I mean? I gotta like the rock, son.
You shave or do you shave or do you like not grow any hair?
No, I shave. I shave like twice a week usually,
Shit.
at least.
How long does it take?
To shave?
Yeah, I've never shaved my head, so I don't know.
I mean, I get it done. Like once I start shaving, I'm talking about with my beard and my head, total 15 to 20 minutes max. You know, and I usually
don't know.
I
feel like I'm gonna have to start doing that soon.
dude, no, you still have the fucking hairline. See, this is how sensitive fucking these like Pakistani Indian dudes get and shit like that.
What?
These
No.
Malaysian- They're like, even with the hairline, they get worried. Even with a fucking hairline, they get fucking worried. Your crown is still good, bro.
For now, yes. I say I'm gonna have to start doing it soon, probably.
Well,
Cause I mean, like maybe another 5 years, 6 years. I feel like I'm gonna have to start doing it.
I feel like your parents probably didn't care enough though about your like head shape when you were a baby. So I'm pretty sure there's some lumps and dents under that mane.
No, I
would be curious.
I shaved it back in 2019.
Oh, okay. So you have gone bald before.
I've gone bald. It looked all right.
Okay.
No, like little bumps or rolls or fat rolls or muffin top or anything in the back or nothing. Just regular Lex Luthor head.
Yeah.
Brown Lex Luthor.
Brown Lex Luthor. I mean, that you would play fucking that role really well, dude. The Problematic Paki.
I think I could do it.
I think you can do it 100%.
I think I could do it. I don't like if I were making a movie, I don't want to do like romantic scenes or I don't even want to touch a girl in a movie.
I couldn't even do it even if the money paid like amazingly.
Why?
Because I'm with a Mexican woman. Do you think she's gonna allow me to
be
in a scene
Okay.
with sexual situations?
No, hold on. You don't want. Do you want to do? Do you?
Nope, it just goes nowhere.
Do you want to do it and you don't do it because of her, or you just don't have any desire to do it?
I think it's like a fair amount of both. Like, I mean, the opportunity hasn't really a prize, but like I'm in this mode where, I mean, especially after I proposed, but I mean, even before then, I mean, dude, I've been massively committed to this woman. Like, to the point
Pussy.
where like through the fuck off. You just because
I'm just kidding.
this motherfucker doesn't know what it's like. That's why.
What it's like? What?
To really be tied and connected to one individual entity.
No,
that-
I do.
Yeah.
No, I really do.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I know you love bitches.
I do love bitches, but that doesn't mean that I can't be committed to one too.
And you are committed to one right now.
Yeah.
You believe.
What do you mean? I believe.
You believe you're committed for now. You're committed right now to one.
No, I have been.
You have been. 100%.
Yeah.
Because you have been in positions. I think the last time when I talked to you, I think you had maybe two.
Three.
You had three. Okay, there we
Yeah,
go.
but back in Capel, was it?
Yeah, when I was Capel.
Capel,
You had
yeah.
three.
So back then I had three. My plate is too full to carry around three right now. So
Yeah.
just one for now.
Oh, so you're doing it out of like sheer ease of the schedule. Like it's
Yeah.
more like time commitment.
Yeah, it's not that I can't because, and she knows that there will be others.
Like your current one.
I'm very upfront about it. Mm-hmm. There will be others at some point.
Yeah,
Maybe,
and
possibly, probably.
And it's the same one that I met at Scout like a month ago or something like that.
The Muslim one.
I think so. Yeah.
That one, yeah.
Yeah, they should.
Yeah.
And she's a good Muslim right there. It was
Very.
I like forgot for a second she's a Muslim woman and like put my hand to shake her hand. And then she just went, no. I think
She out Indian you, yes.
I was like, oh, I'm sorry, I'm Muslim. You're Muslim. There you go. Like,
No, she's great, dude. Like, but
well, it's good that she understands that.
yeah,
too.
it's funny when people see me with her. It's like they'll just say like, quit lying, because everybody sees me with white girls. No one's ever seen me with a Muslim girl. So like, it's always been white.
I know
chicks.
white girls have been usually your forte, and I think when you were dating those three girls, you kind of had like the small United Nations. I think you had like white, Muslim, and then
another white.
there we go. Okay, so two
So
whites. and a
not
Muslim.
really united, nothing. Just
I love that video. Have you seen two whites and a Muslim? It's a really good one.
no.
Two whites and a Muslim. You should look it up. It's really good.
I'll look it up.
There we go.
Two
and a
whites,
Muslim.
two whites and a Muslim. it's so she. I mean, she's really good. So like, and my schedule's too full to be like messing around
Yeah.
right now. So I'm just like I'm good with one right now. You
Yeah.
know?
But
If
dude, like
somewhere
I mean,
down the line.
but your women always. You say that like whenever you're with whichever woman, they know if there's another woman, they know about that woman.
I just tell them there will be others. I'm not gonna go around rubbing their faces in it
Oh,
because
so they don't know at the time if you are with another woman then.
if it's right. No, it's like, hey, at some point I'm gonna go to the bathroom. Do I need to tell you when I'm gonna go to the bathroom?
If
No.
you're with a Mexican woman, yes.
I don't know what
I can
kind
tell
of,
you. I can tell
don't
you
know
from
what kind of-
experience.
I don't know what kind of creepy shit you're into, but nah,
It's spicy.
it is very spicy. No, I'm pretty upfront about it. I just don't do it on a regular basis, if that makes sense.
Okay.
So I'm not going out looking or anything. In fact, dude, nowadays I just stay home and I don't do anything.
But
at
no,
all.
I think that the mindset though, like when you're talking about like being time conscious, right, with just like everything you're going on. But I think as you get older, right, like to give your energy in that way to like more than one person becomes sometimes exhausting, right? Like to the point where like, I will
Right.
I will graciously admit that like, especially in my 20s, like the relationships I had, like, and I just started, emceeing and being in the entertainment industry, like I let the devil fucking literally whisper whatever it wanted to. Like I went along with temptation. I've came falter. I've broken a lot of hearts in that way. Just allowing myself to just enjoy whatever energy is coming my way.
Yeah.
Just whatever reason for vanity or just the momentary attraction. But like the effort and the work in trying to be conscious of not being found out and not being like exposed and blah,
Right.
blah, blah, blah. Like, especially in today's day and age, like, dude, what the fuck can anybody get away with? Nothing. Like, you can't really get away with this, dude. You're funny. You can get away with a whole lot. Especially when you have a good IT tech support to fucking wipe the call log history and
I don't.
all that good stuff.
It's. I don't see. I'm not saying you need to get away with it. I just don't think you need to. I don't know, man. I try to be a good human.
Yeah.
To most people.
I think that's part basis of it. But I'm just saying though, like the effort it takes to like lead that variant, that 1, 2, 3 amount of lives where you're giving your energy to a certain person and then trying to withhold them knowing about another energy that you're giving yourself to, like it becomes exhausting. And so like as you get older, I mean, you only have so much energy naturally to put out towards your day to day and the people that you meet. So I just feel like as you get older, like the idea of just having that one.
So yeah, and that's when I like came up with the phrase. Back then, when I used to date 3 women, and it used to be. It was a perfect schedule, actually. It was like very efficient, right? Because it was a lawyer, an accountant, and a nurse.
There we go.
Okay,
Bang.
so the lawyer and accountant worked during the day.
This seems like a setup for a fucking joke, but keep going.
I'm telling you. So
the lawyer and accountant come into the
Okay, so the lawyer and the accountant work during the day.
Okay.
Okay. So the nurse was open during the day. So I would go see the nurse during the day. Mm-hmm. Okay, because the nurse worked night. Mm-hmm. And then accountant would be working all week, so she wouldn't be available until the weekend. So at nighttime, I would go see the lawyer. Because on the weekends, the lawyer would go see her family. Right? So then the accountant's available on the weekend. It just was effortlessly, but once it started crumbling when Christmas came around and everybody was going to be off and everybody wanted to meet.
Yeah, they wanted that time.
So then I'm juggling like a jerk. And I realized, that's when I came up with the phrase. I was like, if you have time to date more than one woman, you're not doing enough with your life.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's a very fair like analogy and reference to put on, because you only have so many hours in a day.
Right. So I literally wasn't doing anything except I was making good money and I was just jumping from chick to chick to chick. And at that time I didn't care, but now like I'm pretty mellowed out, and it wasn't even like I was doing it for like bragging rights or anything. I really
do you feel like
I really liked all of them, and I would like to have it worked out to a certain degree with all of them, but I understand it was not feasible. Even if all three of them were on board, it still wouldn't be feasible for me to sustain that long term. Because guess what? When I was seeing them for like a few months, all three of them, I did only 2 shows. I didn't do anything. So I was just like, I got to get out of this. So and then one night I just I think one of
I love you said I called. Wait, not called. Like you. Like, I gave some respect, but not that much respect.
So two of them I called, and one of them I met in person.
Okay.
And I said, we're done.
The met in person one you like the most.
No, I actually hated her the most. But I was like, I need to like actually face I don't need to be a coward about this one because I hated her the most.
Okay.
Or disliked her the most. Or
that's interesting.
She made okay. So the one I hated the most was also blackmailing me into staying with her.
Blackmailing you how?
There were some pictures and videos.
Oh shit!
I didn't tell you this story.
No, not at all.
Okay.
She was gonna show you a package, bro.
Okay, so this one is a lawyer.
Yeah. Oh. Damn.
Yeah. She blackmailed me.
Yeah, see, my last serious relationship, before Pilar, was a lawyer. She took me to court. Did not.
Oh, really?
Win as much as she wanted to. I'll tell you that story, but go on.
Okay, I want to hear this. But she was a lawyer. I told her I wanted to break up. I was very upfront because I started already seeing the other girl, and I told her, I said, I don't want to be with you. Before I saw the other girl, I said, I don't want to be with you. Okay, I was being a stand-up person about it. Mm-hmm. She forced herself into this triangle or square or whatever.
And was she white or Muslim?
Paki.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, crazy Paki.
Shocking.
I didn't... Man, some stuff I can't say on here, but I'll tell you this.
Yes, you can.
She had blackmailed me into sleeping with her. Because I pissed her off so bad because she goes, if you don't sleep with me, I'm going to show your pictures to everybody. And I'm like, go ahead. It's a good freaking dick. I don't care. She got so mad.
Good freaking dick.
She got so mad. So then she goes, I'm going to show it to your parents.
Oh, there we go. Crossing fucking lines.
I called the bluff.
Oh, shit. Okay.
Right? I called the bluff. I said, yeah, go ahead. I don't care. Whatever. Or no, I didn't say. I said, whatever. That's what I said to her. I said, oh, whatever. Next thing I know, 30 minutes later, her car's parked out in front of my parents' house. Yup. This is a Paki chick who's a lawyer who is like, yeah. And she's parked out front in front of my house and she knocks on the door. The only funny thing is that my parents luckily weren't there. So I'm like, get the hell out of my house, whatever bullshit. And then once that happened, I was certain that anytime I'm at work, she can just show up and do this.
Right.
So then I was like, okay, fine. I will keep taking one for the team.
And you gave her that package.
Yes. I call it the war zone because when you get in the war zone, you get fucked.
You're like, stop looking at me. No eye contact.
Bro, I could only do her doggy because I didn't want to look at her.
Yeah, but yeah, that's fair.
So she goes. So this happened 3 more times after the first time.
Okay.
She kept showing up. Each time I got freaking lucky my parents weren't there. Okay. So
Thank Allah for that.
and then I did. 4th time when it happened, and she's like, yo, you have to sleep with me. Bro, I couldn't get it up.
You know what? I realized, like, that is very real.
Yep.
Like there's a whiskey dick. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Like where like guys, who have drink too much or whatever, and then they can't get it working. But dude, the way your heart sometimes plays, right?
I like how you bring heart into this.
It's because it's heart, and then there's mind.
I think it was just mine for me. I didn't love these bitches.
No, but it's heart because she's breaking your heart every single time. And and she's threatening what is closest to your heart, your family.
Right.
Like your
that's
family.
all I cared about.
Right. And
Right.
so like again,
So that's how she was hurting me. It wasn't like an emotional
she
hurt
is
to
toying
me.
with your heart. You know what I mean? Like she's toying with your heart because she's toying with the entities that are the closest to you in your heart.
Yeah.
And so again, it's kind of like you have this emotional like like hindrance that is like the heart won't even allow blood to flow
Yep.
down to the thing where the mind is like, no, you're supposed to get excited for
Yeah.
this.
And then and then for 2-3 more weeks, I saw the other 2 girls too, and then I was just like,
And this lawyer one knew about the other ones too, or no?
she knew about him.
Oh,
That's
wow.
why she knew about him. And I said, so first I said, hey, I want to break up. I don't want to be with you anymore.
Yeah.
I point blank said that. Okay. Before I was even seeing the other girl. Then she goes, a week goes by or 2 weeks go by, a week goes by, and she goes, no, I want to see you. I want to see you. I want to see you. I said, I don't want to see you. I'm seeing somebody else now. Right. And
And that probably drove her nuts.
man, I'm telling you, the best way to get a girl is to have another girl. It's like a job. It's like best way to get a job is to have a job.
There we go. Words to live by the problematic Paki. Best way to have a job. Best way to get a job is to have a job. There we go.
It's just facts.
No, actually, it is. There is definitely truth to that statement. That
Yep.
I 100% believe. Yes.
So then anyway, so
Because
I got,
girls like just like a job, girls always want the guy
that they
is like
can't
that they can't have.
You know what's even crazier is when you get the girl who is truly head over heels for you, she thinks every girl wants you the same way she does. I know. 100%.
Dude.
And I'm like, okay, tell me this. How many times girls come up to you and was like, hey, Shawn, I want your dick?
So little. Like it rarely fucking happens.
When
I mean?
you say rare, how rare? Tell me.
Okay.
Once every 5 years?
No.
Oh, okay. Well,
I
you're
would
way
say
more
like
popular.
maybe once, maybe twice a year.
Okay, well, that's more power to you because I don't even get that.
But here's the thing: is that like it usually happens when I'm like leading that event, right? Like I have my weekly gigs.
Oh,
You know what I mean?
Because you're the so when you're usually after stage, I'll get something.
Yeah.
Right. But I mean, like if you weren't on stage, you wouldn't get shit.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. If I'm just like I'm not running nothing, you know what I mean? I'm not
Yep.
I'm not playing or
You're
working
just
a-
existing.
Right. I'm not working a role,
Yeah.
and I'm like out in a socialistic atmosphere. Nothing.
Nothing.
I get absolutely fucking nothing.
And they don't understand that. They think they think every girl is trying to. It's not that they're trying to sleep with you. It's that they're trying to take her man away from her. There's a difference, right? Because when we say some guy's trying to sleep with our girl, we don't say they're trying to take away the girl from us,
Right.
Because we just be like, hey, you want to fuck him? Go get the hell out, right?
Yeah.
But girl will keep you even after you fuck another girl if she truly loves you,
Yeah.
right?
I mean, like, and it's never been the case. But I will say this though is that I think when my relationship started with Pilar, and I would say even like, I mean, I think, and then something that you could relate to as well is that like especially when you're meeting a new, like meeting the idea of a new relationship, you're gonna put all your expectations like right up front. I'm sorry, am I boring you?
Sorry.
It's okay.
That's my fault. That was very very rude of me.
Well, I think it's growth that you call yourself out on your rude bullshit. But-
No, I am very self-aware.
Yeah, no, I would agree too. I think that
I'm very self-aware. I'm very self-aware.
But what I was saying was that like when you're starting a relationship, and I think that you can agree, is that you put all your expectations on the line. Like you don't bullshit on who you are and what you're looking for and what you're willing to compromise, right?
Right.
And not compromise. So like that was big when I met Pilar, because we met A, during COVID, B, I had already decided I'm moving to Texas from Chicago, and knowing full well I am not coming back. And so, and like, like all within the history, and like even after I moved, I was kind of placing checkpoints up because I'm like, I was single for 3.5 years, and I'm like ready. When I made the decision, I'm like, oh man, I'm gonna be in a new area. I'm gonna be able to just see this whole energy. But shockingly, through the distance, we just stayed strong. She was my biggest grace. Like in the midst of all this, whatever shenanigans that was happening, or me trying to get to know this new area, new people.
Yeah.
She was the grace that I was able to always go back on, even especially when I was at my worst.
So you like coming to basically ground zero or somebody to like your
understand.
your anchor.
To understand. I think that
To understand?
to understand who you are as a person, as a human being.
Uh-huh.
Like we are, especially as a comedian. You're right. You're such a unique energy. You're so even though every DNA code is different, yours has like a completely different sequence. We're just specifically different thinking models of human beings.
Right.
And to have a woman that knows and understands your game and also how you operate within that game, like that is something that like you can't really quantify or like it's rare to find, you know, because this is a game that like you have, let's say like you have all the notoriety in the world, all the validity in the world, you are, let's say, in some sort of celebrity status. It takes a specific type of woman to really understand you as a human being and you as a human being in the game that you're in.
Right.
This game
I agree with
not
that.
easy to have a relationship.
Oh, no, it's not.
I'm trying to show like that it can be done.
Well, at least you're nice enough to be like, yeah, I'll just go to Austin once a month. If I enjoyed driving, I would go every single week.
Yeah,
I would go every single
there
week.
are Dallas
And-
comedians that fucking do that.
Oh yeah, and
Drew Nickens went every fucking Monday for 10 and a half months before he was finally called.
yeah, good for him.
Yeah.
But I can't. It's not that I can't. It's just if somebody if you don't have the right girl and she says, "Oh no, I need you home. You're going every Monday. There's no money in comedy. There's no this." I'd just be like, "Hey, do you know where the door is?" She'd be like, "Yeah."
Yeah,
It's like,
yeah.
Walk out of it.
Right. And I think that is like the end all of a lot of relationships for people who work in this industry. Right. And I'm not going to say that things are naturally perfect and that she doesn't have issues in the game that I'm in. She definitely does. And there's a lot that she still has to battle. Right. And a lot of things that she in the beginning maybe didn't expect to have a problem with as you get, deeper. Now our lives are intertwined together. She's noticing like, no, this is actually tough. This is very, very difficult. Right. So what my thing is that I realized that no matter what, no matter how fucking mind-breakingly frustrating the relationship or just conflicts that we're having, in the end, no matter what, I will never quit this woman.
Right.
I just can't. We just are never going to quit each other. And that was one thing that we just naturally recognized. This is like, she's even in the beginning of the relationship, she gave me so many outs. She's like, I have 3 kids. This is going to be not easy for any man. Like, and she wasn't expecting any man to want to be able to tolerate it. Now she's seeing like, man, this is the best guy that I could have had for my kids that now they see as a father figure. But like, again, it's still a lot to manage as we are navigating our lives being together with my career and lifestyle. But in the beginning, when
how do you like being a stepfather?
Man, you know what, dude? So many things.
Or are you just doing it just to have her?
In the beginning, yeah. In the beginning, I will say that like because they were always going to be a package deal.
Sure.
Right. And when I first met them, I would say is that when we officially became like a couple, because I was hoping that meeting them was going to make me want to walk the fuck away.
Right.
And lo and behold, they're phenomenal kids. They're so fucking fantastic.
Okay.
And they're beautiful. Like even now, do you hear any noise?
Right.
You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. They know when I have a job, I'm like, hey, I'm recording. Silence. Like everything that I have to do, they understand my life flow and they love it and they respect it. And they see that I'm attacking something, going after my dreams and what I want to do for me. But no more than that, I'm showing up where it matters and providing them a better life, you know what I mean? And lifestyle. So, but in the beginning, like, Pilar gave me so many outs saying like, you don't deserve this. You're too good of a man. You could be with somebody that's going to, be within your wavelength.
Little does she know, nobody wants guys don't get hit on, guys don't get approached. I'm telling you, when girls think they like girls know they
I'll
like
say this,
you.
if I'm game on, like when my game is on, I know how to talk to a woman. That is not. I'm not
saying that, but like that would be you going out pursuing.
Right.
But girls think girls are coming up to you.
But I will
to get
say
you.
though, it has increased because of the fact I'm
That you have a girl?
I'm a non-pursuing character.
Right. So that's what I'm saying. Girls like guys that are unavailable.
Right. And so
I learned this in high school, and then I don't know, somewhere around college, I just kind of gave up, and I was just like started chasing girls, and I would get nobody. And then one day I was like, you know what? Screw this. Girls like this, like, you know. But again, I would have to go pursue it. It's not like they were just coming up to me. But if I have a girl with me, game over. Just like if I have a pretty girl with me,
oh dude,
I bet you get hit on so much when you were with her.
Well, no. Which is very interesting is that when she's with me, women will approach her knowing that she's with me.
Yep.
And then they like befriend her. You know
Oh
what I mean?
yeah, for
But
sure.
like, but to close off what I was trying to mention before was that like when she was trying to give me all these outs, right? She was like saying like, listen, like you deserve to be with somebody that like, you know, matches your workflow, lifestyle, whatever. She made it like, it was kind of a joke, but I'm like, fuck, this is kind of deep. She's like, just know that whoever you end up with, you know, you're going to eventually cheat on them with me. And I was like, fuck, she's probably right. She's fucking
That's what single moms are for, to cheat on your girl with. Look, I'll tell you this. I think a lot more marriages would be better if your wife treats you like a king, is your biggest fan like as if she was your side chick,
Yep.
and fucked you like a single mom.
3 for 3. There you go.
There you go.
3 for 3.
She doesn't need to be a single mom. I'm just saying, if she
Yeah.
fucks you like a single mom, if she cheers you on like she's your side chick with everything, like
Yeah.
you know, and she thinks of you as the king of whatever you are,
Yeah.
right?
No, she
king of kings.
100%.
And I
yeah.
think she does. And I
Yeah.
think Mexican women and Pakistani women have that in them.
Yeah.
Right? But like I've noticed that
That
with like
loyalty
black
gene
women,
is hard,
like
yeah.
like black women, white women, and like fucking Asian women.
Clip it.
I don't care. They don't have that. Oh, I'm gonna like all these. A lot of these girls want to be. They want marriages, but they don't want to be wise. When times comes to step
Oh,
up.
yes.
They just want the marriages.
Yeah, I agree
but they
with
don't
that.
want to be wise.
I do agree with that.
Right? Oh, I want a king. Okay, bitch, are you a queen? Mm-hmm. Okay.
I think a lot, because especially the fact that I'm in the wedding industry, like my main
Yeah.
source of revenue is doing, especially South Asian weddings.
Right.
I feel so strongly that so many people get married.
Yeah.
And like, I would even say, mostly I would say this would probably gravitate more towards women, but a lot of women get married to have the wedding, not ready to be a wife.
Since you're in the marriage industry a lot and do a lot of marriage, wedding shows and stuff like that, how many of those husbands are actually genuinely in the moment of the wedding, or they're just doing it for their wives, you think?
I would say majority. I would give
Really?
them. I would give
Okay.
it. I get a good 70 to 80%. But that is.
So you think all these guys, 70-80% guys, wanted the big wedding and everything and spend all that money and stuff? Or you think they're just into it because their wives are into it?
Well, because I think that a lot of the guys. I mean,
I know you probably don't talk to them about
yeah,
this,
well,
but
yeah.
I'm just,
when it
I'm
comes,
just kind of...
I'll say this: that like if they're booking Doitall Entertainment, they are trying to create an impact. We don't have clients that are trying to have a modest celebration. They're not paying the money they're going to pay for our services, especially when it's myself or DJ Illis. They're not paying that money to have a modest celebration.
Gotcha.
They're paying that money to have a big celebration.
Right.
And they want it to be impactful for everyone that's joining. So
Gotcha.
that's what I'm saying. Like the majority of the clients that we have, now granted, sometimes it's like just the bride wants us and the groom they're like, okay, happy wife, happy life. You do what you want.
That's
and
the
then,
dumbest phrase ever.
And it's
Don't ever say that. Don't ever say that shit around me ever again. Happy wife, happy life. Also, my balls are in her purse.
well, you need one of them Coach Chanel bags, to hold them balls.
No, man. I just don't believe in. I don't believe in placating or to women or anybody. Period.
I think happy you, happy life, right? And I think that like I don't think you can give anyone happiness unless you're not creating it for yourself.
So happiness in itself is not happiness. It's a moment in time. What you're really looking for is contentment. Happy, you could be happy right now. I slap you across the face. Are you still happy?
Right.
Right? But are you content with your life, even if I slap you in the face and run off? Yeah.
Just imagine
And you'll be
that.
even more content after you... Something like that, yeah. But I don't believe in like when people say I just want to be happy or do what makes you happy. Do what makes you happy is how you get
But stay
transgender
practical
people.
too. Yeah. But also stay practical.
Right.
Yeah.
No, that's what I'm saying. Do what makes you happy is how you end up with transgender people who cut off their dicks. Okay? Like that's not normal. That's not okay to just go turn around and do what makes you happy.
That's right. If Allah did not breed it into the biology for it to naturally happen, it's not right.
Yeah.
That's what Sibb is saying.
Yes.
That's what Sibb is saying.
Yeah. And people would say, oh, he's just...
If you want to chop your dick off,
People-
that is your life, your dick.
No,
That's
it's,
What do you mean?
no. Why would you do that?
I mean, again,
There are men out there who have
It
little...
doesn't matter what the why is, Sibb. You know what I mean? Like, again.
But that's what I'm saying. The why is what matters.
Right, to you.
No, why is what matters for the society, the betterment of the society. I don't care. Like,
But what is one person chopping their dick off have to do with the natural progression or betterment of society? It has nothing to do with them. That's their individual
so you're okay.
life.
You're okay if your son, if you have a son one day, your own biological son, and he goes and chops his dick off. You're cool with it.
No, so this is where I stand with it, because for me, if you're making any decision, whether it's you chopping your dick off or going through a transition or going into career or whatever, right? I want you to make an educated choice. That means you know all the consequences, and you know the benefits, and you know the risk and reward.
Who's going to tell him the consequences?
Huh?
Who's going to tell him the consequences?
Well, again, that's your job as a parent to try and at least show a consciousness and being able to help him recognize, listen, here are the repercussions medically. These are the things that could happen procedure-wise, and then post to how your body responds and what you're going to deal with when it comes to dealing with society. Like here's the thing is that I don't think
so if you tell your son all that and he's like, yeah, I'm cool with it, let me go chop it off.
If he's consciously aware of everything, and he's like, I'm paying for it, I'm covering it, like I'm not gonna pay him.
That's fine, but you, Shawn Kay the Showman, is completely okay if your son decides to put on a wig and go out and
given the circumstances,
and says, "Hey, Dad, I'm only into getting my butt rammed now."
I'm
moving
a
forward,
woman, man. Yeah, I'm a woman now.
Moving forward, I just want to get my butt rammed by the other dudes, and I'm gonna pretend to be a chick. You're okay with that?
I mean, listen, to be honest with you, Sibb, my kids are not gonna talk to me the way your kids are gonna talk to you. Okay, so they're not gonna say this butt ramming shit that you're fucking throwing at me.
Well,
right now,
I'm just
okay?
showing that.
You're gonna talk to me with
That's what it is, though. That's what it is, though. I'm not saying like these kids. I'm saying you.
You're not saying it verbatim.
No, I'm not saying these kids. I'm saying you're.
I know my kids. I know. That's what I'm saying.
Okay, but I'm obviously he's not gonna be like, "Hey, Dad, getting rammed in the butt is fun," but
Yeah.
like
But in all general sense of what he's communicating, he's saying,
I'm a bit provocative with my words. I know.
He's saying this language in whichever way that he is saying.
Yeah, he's just gonna be like, "Hey, Dad, I'm gay. I'm gonna become a woman."
I am gay and all like that right there. Like she probably would have more problem than I would.
Okay.
I
bet she would.
Yeah, she would have more problem with it than I would, for sure.
Yeah.
But that being said, in the end, it's like, this is my child. I do want to support my child, and more than anything, I want my child to be happy. I do not want them to deny like anything that they see as a truth for themselves. But again, I also want them to recognize everything that comes with every decision that they're making. And it affects their future, it affects their day-to-day, and it affects general outcomes and especially perceptions that come back to them with the choices that they make.
So transgender people, from what I understand, have a very high suicide rate, especially after getting transition. Are you?
That I'm not familiar with. That,
I've read some things. Okay, it's kind of funny because like,
don't ask me to cite my sources.
well, no, it's funny when people say cite your sources. Where did you get that? It's like I'm not a walking log of data that you can just be like, okay, you said this. Tell me where you heard this. It's like,
But if you heard it, you should be able to Google it. You know what I mean?
exactly. So you can Google it. I read it, and if I'm wrong, if I read it wrong, or if I'm wrong, again, I'm very self-aware. If I'm wrong, I'll admit it that I'm wrong.
Fair, yeah.
I'm not, but I've heard from multiple sources, and when I say heard, I mean read literal articles.
I read the titles of these articles.
That sounds about right.
All right, I think this has been a nonstop flow. I feel like we've covered a lot of subject matter. We're at an hour and 2 minutes, so we're gonna take one short break before we go into the second half of this podcast.
Okay. Works for me.
Don't forget don't forget your thoughts. But even though I don't have to tell him that, I know he won't. And
I got too much in my mind.
I know, too much in your mind. So we'll be coming back to the Metro Icon podcast with my round 2 with Sibb Razz. Don't go anywhere. We are back to the Metro Icon podcast after taking a short break here with the round 2 episode with the comedy stylings, the Problematic Paki himself, Sibb Razz, everybody. That Razz, the Rizzy Razz.
The Rizzy Razz.
The Rizzy Razz. That might have to be some part of the new branding. You know?
I'm thinking about changing my name.
What? Which one? Sibb?
Completely.
What? Sebastian?
I'm tired of that name. No, I don't know. I've just been thinking about changing my name completely. What do you think would be a good name for me other than just jerk face?
Prabhu.
Prabhu? I don't look like a Prabhu. Prabhus are usually fat as fuck.
Yeah, but you look like a problem. That's what I said.
Okay, I'll give you that.
There we go. Either way, man, we so much that we've uncovered. We talked about a little bit of real estate. We talked about relationships. We talked about the comedy game. You know, what else is there, Sibb? I mean, what else is there? Life is obviously good.
Life is always good. I don't think I ever have bad days, honestly. I don't ever wake up and I'm like, man, today's a bad day. Mm-hmm. But I think it's also because, like we were talking about earlier, it's because people aren't content with their lives. They're trying to get happiness. They're trying to constantly seek those little moments of happiness. That's why I said it's moment of happiness. It's not constant.
Are you a fan of Andrew Tate? You know who he is, right?
I know who he is.
Yeah. Because
I don't know about... Okay, I'll tell you this. I don't know about being a fan, but it's going to sound crazy because I was showing this to my girl a while back, and I said, look, you say that I talk like this and I'm like this because of Andrew Tate, but look, this is for...
Because of Andrew? She thinks of Andrew
That's
Tate.
what she said.
Okay.
Right? But I said, look, I showed her some stuff from my Facebook memories and all my other stuff from back in the days, like phone and stuff. I said, look, I've been saying this stuff since 2011, 2005, 6, stuff like that. I've been saying this stuff before people knew the words Andrew and Tate.
Right. This has always been your point of view.
This has always been my 99% of the stuff he says I agree with.
Right.
Now, to say am I a fan of his is like saying am I like, it's like, imagine you have jokes and I go up on stage and I tell the same jokes and we both land the same way. Right. The only difference is then if somebody asks you, are you a fan of mine? Or are you just like, yeah, he's just as funny as I am. Or he just says the stuff that I do. Mm-hmm. Right. Now, he's way more articulate than I am. But then again, when I said these things, I was in my late teens, early 20s. Mm-hmm. So I was not I think comedy really helped me learn how to articulate these things. So am I a fan of his? No, but I know the tone of sarcasm, the satire, the irony with which he speaks. I can relate to that and I understand that with a hint of truth in it. Mm-hmm. And I think that's what he does. honestly.
Yeah, I don't think he bullshit or compromises on his viewpoints or his natural perception.
And
on,
I don't like to do that either.
Right. But like he's also willing to, I think, at least have the dialogue. And I think that, I mean, we've kind of proven that even in this first half, right? There are certain things that, like I said, where you're like, like elaborate, you know, like I think for you and let's say like Andrew Tate, it's more so like if you have a differential within the argument or conversation, it's like, yo, help me to understand where you're coming from. Otherwise, I'm going to tell you why I think that's wrong. But if you say something that makes sense to me, then I'm going to be able to understand and be like, okay, I didn't think of it in that way. Like if you get me to think, right?
Right.
And it's easy to have a conversation with somebody that's coming with such ignorance to certain subject matter.
Yeah.
And then at that point, it like almost ignites you. Or like, yo, what the fuck do you even know about it for you to even be coming at me with this bullshit, you know?
And the way, like, the way I think of things are not very conducive to American society, possibly, but it is very prominent in overseas society, where the society still functions on a pretty okay level. I mean, sure, a lot of countries are third world countries, but that's also because they're constantly getting bombarded. That's also because they are lacking resources or their politicians are bought out, right? I've always said that the entire world's problems are rooted with three people. America provides the weapon, Saudi Arabia provides the money, and Jews control the media.
Pakistani Kanye over here.
Is that what Kanye said?
I think I'm pretty close.
Oh, really?
Pretty close. I mean, because I mean, he's definitely said some points about Jews, but like a lot of it is.
I want to be very clear.
It has been prefaced on the fact of how
I
much
want to be. I want to be very, very clear. I don't hate Jews.
No.
I don't. I
hear
dislike terrible politicians. I don't hate Jews. I just dislike terrible politicians who are willing. At the end of the day, we are all just a collateral damage to them, right? Like these people who get so excited about voting, like, dude, he doesn't even know your name. You're just a social security number to them. Like, what are you gonna? You are ruining your Thanksgiving dinner over some stranger who doesn't even know you.
Would you? Do you have any issues stating like who would you pick as
president?
Yeah,
myself.
Okay, without you being on the ballot, as far as with the options available to you right now, let's say it's Trump, Kamala, and RFK Jr.
Well, I don't like Kamala.
Okay,
I do I do like him. The RFK.
I dig RFK Jr. man, and I think that
I don't know about his voice, but everything else he says is very
the fucking
articulated.
Worms.
Yes,
it's the worms in the brains, bro.
No, I think he discussed about his issue about his voice. He's like, my voice sounds like I'm getting tired, but I'm really not.
Yeah, I mean, I think he's acknowledged exactly like, yo, like as far as me having a physical voice, yeah, it's weak as shit. But as far as about what my word is behind the voice is really where the power is. So
honestly, at the end of the day, it doesn't matter who's in the office because they're just gonna bomb Muslim countries anyways. So. Does it really matter who's in the office? Now, would it matter to me personally on a personal level? Yeah, if they reduce the taxes and give me back the 100% write-off on buying XYZ items. Because like when Trump came in, so I have houses, right? So when Trump came in, he implemented this tax write-off deal where basically for the next, I think it was 3 years or something, you can write off 100% of almost all your expenses. Right. And then year 4 or 5, it's like 80%, 60%, and then 20% instead of amortizing it over 27 and a half years on houses. And I know I just sounds like gibberish, but
I understood it. I'm just worried about the public.
I think they'll catch on. If not, they just don't deserve you.
Yeah. Yes, they don't deserve me. Nailed it.
So to say, am I a fan of Andrew Tate? I will say I understand where he's coming from.
The reason why I asked that question, because I feel like in this, especially right now in this latter half, I'm like, it kind of clicked to me. I'm like, oh man, there's a lot of similarity,
Right.
In a lot of the perceptional points that you're dropping is very close to.
Because again, so my girl was like, oh, like you think you're like this Andrew Tate guy because you'll get multiple girls, or you'll do this, or you run business, or so. Right now, I had this real estate deal, okay, and I offered my partners to make cuckoo money. We're talking like upwards of minimum $3 million.
Oh wow.
Okay, I offered that to them, and they said no. Cool, no problem. I'm still gonna go do it. Mm-hmm. And she's like, "You're cheating them out of their cut." I'm like, "No, I offered them." They said no, because in order for them to take, so there's.
And this is something that they would be financially investing in as well to get that return.
Here's the crazy part: there's no actual financial investment on our side at all. We're brokering a deal, basically.
Okay.
So brokers typically don't have any.
Do you
skin
have your
in
real
the
estate license?
I don't need it. Anybody who does have real estate license are stupid as shit.
Really?
There's so much red tape. There's so much red tape, and you have to be ethically this and morally this, and it's just like little fingers to dig in you to control you, right? You don't need it. If you wanna invest in real estate, you do not need your real estate license. If you want to sell a house for somebody, you don't need your real estate license. You just need to make sure that you disclose that you don't have a real estate license, and you're doing that for somebody else, or you let the person who you're selling it for, you just let them know, hey, we don't have a real estate license, and we're going to be doing this for you. Are you okay with that? And guess what? As long as you prove to them that you know your shit, people will hire you. People who are just like, oh, you don't have this license, and you don't have this certificate, and you don't have this. It's like me walking out and getting in my car when I don't have my driver's license. Does that mean I forgot to drive? Or it's like when people say, hey, your license is expired. You can't get in the club because your license is a bitch. I'm still 21.
Yeah, right. That's fair.
So I don't believe in constant certifications.
Wait, so the venue is like taking an expired, ID, and they're like, well, we can't let you in. I'm like, yo.
Yeah, it's like I called somebody a dumb fuck one time because the guy was just like not letting me in the club because my ID was expired by 1 day, mind you. So it was my day after my birthday.
Yeah.
It was day after my birthday. He wouldn't let me in the club. And I'm just like, I bet you are broke with 3 baby mamas. And guess what? I was right.
You became best friends.
No. I was like, I bet you're broke with 3 baby mamas and you ain't got no job except for this. And this is where you feel the most powerful. Mm-hmm. And I was right. And it made me feel good about myself.
That's good.
That I made him feel less than.
There we go.
No,
He tried to do it with you. And you just flipped it around.
But in all honesty, that's what I thought. I didn't say it to him. Okay.
And the truth comes out.
Well, okay. So despite how I may have strong opinions about things, I'm not going to go openly insult a man for no reason.
Right. That's fair. I think that you don't, you're not going to, you have asshole tendencies, but it's not where it's like you're looking to be
when I need to be. Yes.
Right.
Yeah. When I need to be.
You bring it out of me, it's going to come,
Right. Well, it's not even bring it out of me. I bring it out myself. Right. You control your emotions. Right.
Right.
So if somebody, I learned a long time ago, why do people yell? Why do people scream? Why do people get angry? It's because they feel not in control anymore. Mm-hmm. Right. Like that's why, like when you yell, when you get in the car and you scream at somebody, it's because you feel powerless because the dumbass in front of you isn't moving. Mm-hmm. When you scream at the kids, you feel powerless because you can't hit the kid because he doesn't understand it, and you can't explain it to the kid because he doesn't understand it. That's when you yell at the kid and hope that that scream will put him back in line. So I've learned over the years to not yell at people or scream at people. Plus, my words are sharp enough to neutralize most people if needed. If needed.
Yeah, and I think a fair point to that too is I think that like a smart man knows when to really take in all the information that they're getting. Right?
Yeah.
Like being it like that point, it took me a while to realize that, but once I did, being able to pull back and just be able to listen to everything before before I respond and be like, "Are you done?" Like I just want to
Yeah.
make sure that you're finished before
Yeah.
I say what I have to say. Because then when I'm not, because there'll be like points where, let's say like in a disagreement, they say a point and you validly disagree with that point where like everyone's like, well, no, you know what I mean? Like they're really
Right.
going to cut in right at that moment
Right.
just to mark that disagreement in whatever point's being given. But when you're able to pull back and then really like check off each point line by line, and throw it back, That's why I don't fuck with Steady Eddie no more, because you can't have no dialogue with a man like
Is that why you have it X'd out on his pay?
Fuck that man.
What do you do?
Huh?
What do you do?
Cross that fucking line, dude.
With your chick?
Well, it's something he said not just about about Pilar, but also my best fucking friend. It was after this show. It was after my Do It All comedy
Oh,
jam.
okay.
And this dude tried to literally convince me while he was drunk as fuck and on mushrooms and everything, have a whole dialogue and wanted to talk seriously, like sit down and have a serious conversation, how he prefaced it, and try to convince me that that my best friend, DJ Illest, that's been my best friend for over half my life, he's my business partner, and my fiance
Right.
had like their own personal relations, and they are like, you know what I mean? Like this dude he's the epitome of what's like wrong within the industry, because as talented as a comedian he can be, he has nothing positive to bring to the actual game, because
Okay.
all he does is talk shit about anyone who's doing anything that's not including him.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever experienced that with him. He just, every time I see him.
But how
Well,
active has it been though?
What?
How active has your interactions or engagement?
Well,
with
that's
him?
what I'm saying.
Yeah.
It's I'm not like buddies with
Right.
them, but we're not on bad terms. It's always, hey man, what's going on? Are you in Austin? Are you here? Are you there? That's really, it's always showbiz talk, nothing else.
Right.
But I think that goes with any comedian.
Yeah.
Except for one. It goes with every comedian that I speak to. It's always showbiz related,
Like business,
or
yeah.
nothing else.
Yeah.
Because so I don't drink, I don't do drugs, I don't do none of that shit. I don't even like bang strangers to even relate to that, right? Like, so I don't know, I don't really relate to them. And like I've had people tell me, it's like people have said that like, oh, like Sibb never hangs out after shows and stuff because everybody's drinking. And like I can't have a conversation with people who are drunk. Right? So
I think that's fair. Like I think for any sober person,
and somebody will say, "Oh, you're judging us," or what? I was like, "I'm not judging you. You go.
you're
do
just
whatever
not
you-"
on that same frequency.
I'm just not.
Yeah.
So I don't typically hang out with most comics after shows. I'll talk to them before shows. I'll hang out with them, and once we're done, we want to go out and go as a group somewhere. I'll go every so often, but I don't drink or anything like that. So it's kind of like, what?
Mojo sees a new person and he wants to know, why does Daddy want me to hate Pakistani people so bad? That's
You know
I'm just kidding.
dogs are considered impure in my religion, right?
What?
You
Is
didn't know
why?
that?
Is that why you
Yeah,
have a problem?
dogs and pigs.
So you have no allergies.
No, I didn't say I had allergies.
Okay, there we go. Because that's what I thought. It would
Yeah, I didn't say I had allergies.
You just had a problem.
Yeah, and plus,
So like you meeting a dog is like your Muslim girlfriend shaking my hand.
perfect. Also, the irony of that sentence, your Muslim girlfriend shaking. No, I don't.
Yeah, you don't. So when you see Mojo, you just thank you.
Yeah.
No, I get it. Listen, not everyone could be dog people. Not everyone could be animal people. I mean, I'm not a cat person. You know.
You already know how I feel about pets, so
There we go. Yeah. Well, now
it's a mental illness.
Yeah.
But I will say this: in couples, I don't think it is.
What do you mean?
If you're a couple and you have pets, I don't think it's a sign of mental illness. It's more, I think. I don't think it's a sign of mental illness if you're a couple and have pets. But if you're a single person, especially women, and have pets, I think that's a sign of mental illness.
I think that we did press on that. I think the last episode
We
that
did.
had,
I know we did. And like, I think especially like those fob Indian people getting pets is the most hilarious thing to me ever.
Yeah,
because they're just trying to be like, oh look, I can fit in with the white people. I can go to the dog park. It's like, and when you see these people walking their pets, especially like when you see these people walking their dogs, it's like, who's walking who?
That's a fair. Actually, that is fair.
Who's walking
Because
who?
I teach him not to pull. You know, like he'll
Yeah.
pull sometimes. I'm like, yeah, what are you doing? You know?
Yeah, but I think you're missing the point.
No. But I understand what you're saying is because like when like say for example you said these Indian people who have their pets, it's not a matter of them wanting a pet. They just want a connection point to be able to meet and be able to assimilate with their environment.
Right.
Yeah.
And it's just like,
I've always been a dog guy. I've always ever since I was a kid.
I've never been a pet person. It just never made sense to me. To why bring in another being into my space?
Oh, I love Mojo. I mean, he has his moments. I mean, because he's still a puppy, so he's just he
Okay.
will naturally.
That
drive
thing
me
is
nuts.
huge.
Do you call him huge? He's not even done. He's only 4 months old.
What the really?
He's
How
only
big,
4 months
How
old.
big can he get?
So he's
At like say age 5, how big will it be?
he's a Labradoodle Golden Doodle. So he'll be like fully grown by like 1.5 to 2 years, and so he'll probably be around like 60 pounds, like more or
Shit,
less.
dude.
Yeah.
No,
He's-
I'm good.
He's a double doodle, but he's hyperallergenic. So
I mean, I don't care. No, I don't. I don't understand. Like, I really don't
But
understand.
I do love, I do.
That's-
I got emotional support. So like, you know,
Don't give me that emotional support bullshit.
that's how you get out of that pet
Emotional support.
That's how you get out of that pet deposit, yo. Right there.
Bitch, you're fine. I'm going to report you to the.
Nah, dude, I'm
going to report you to the housing authority.
You can't. That's why I have the best prescription of Adderall because of my psychological.
So here's the
issues.
crazy thing. So as a landlord, people will come in with that bullshit. And I'll say, okay, no problem. I can't deny them because of their emotional support. But I can require them to give me a doctor's note. And the second I say that, they disappear.
Yeah, but so that's the nice thing about the ESA. Just note that is that when
Stop giving people ideas, man.
Shut the fuck up. You've given enough real estate advice throughout this episode. I'm allowed to
Dude,
give one on my platform.
I gave no
Okay.
real estate advice.
All right. Listen, you don't need to come a real estate agent or it's fucking bullshit. Okay, you can
It
do
is
it on your own.
bullshit.
I know exactly. It's advice. It's information.
bullshit.
It's it's information that can benefit an individual.
Only thing you should be certified is in like only thing you really should go to a doctor should go to colleges for is
Psychologist.
any type of doctor that's not like, you know, fucking retarded ass field or like I'm a healing medicine of crystals and crap, right?
Like Reiki master.
Yeah. But I heard that shit works though.
That's so fucking funny. oh. Do you feel my energy resonating to heal your cancer? I heard that shit slaps. Problematic Paki.
Oh, you know what really worked? Oh, sorry, you were talking about that ESA crap, whatever. For
So what I was saying is that
stuff.
like, so once you get them registered, like to get a proper housing letter, I mean to the cost of having to put down a pet deposit, it's like nothing. Like I already had my last therapist, he already created a letter, but he didn't put in the words that I have. Like my anxiety is at a level that is described by the state as a disability. Not having the word disability in the letter, his letter did not get approved. And then I went through one of their therapists where they just literally went through a quick like one-on-one question, and she asked like, I don't know, 6 or 7 different questions, just kind of categorize it. She created a letter and literally put all the proper verbiage, and it's coming from a licensed.
That type of bullshit doctor should be shot in the nose on the spot.
What? Shot in the nose? Oh my God.
I mean, if you're just
The
like
most
going out of
Pakistani
your,
thing you've ever said
if
on this
you're-
fucking show.
I'm sure I can come up with other.
Especially the fact that she was a woman. Shoot her in the fucking nose.
No, look. People think. Okay, I will clarify this. People think that I hate women, or
This guy's a feminist.
yeah, I love bitches.
He loves bitches.
Yeah, but I'll say this. I know people think that I hate women. I don't. When I talk about women, I don't talk about all women. I talk about bad women.
Mm-hmm.
And I think we can all get behind about not enjoying a bad person's company. And most of my experiences in life have been with women. So if women are so much more, I'll just shut up. It's better if I don't say anything.
I just love. Okay, let me just.
I just don't like bad women. Is that look? I hate bad women. There, I will say that
That's-
all day.
okay,
It doesn't
look.
mean I hate all women.
Fair statement, but just to give anybody clarity to why this is just so hilarious to me is that even on the break where you're like, "Hey man, we need to find more structure to this because I don't like some of the shit that I'm saying on this." And I love that you had a contemplation point where you're like, "What am I trying to say? What am I actually saying?
Well,
What are the repercussions to what I'm saying?"
It was gonna go very left field very quickly, and I don't wanna do that or say that because everything can be taken out of context. But then let's face it, no one's gonna sit here and watch and listen to us for 2 hours.
Yeah,
anyways,
no one's watching my
except
show,
your
dude.
chick and my chick and
Yeah.
nobody else.
Yeah,
you know?
this is going to get a total of 6 views right now until my notoriety comes in where people are starting to actually really wanting to care or pay attention to my shit. I'm not getting views. I do this podcast for me. You know what I mean? I do
Yeah.
my podcast not only for me, but I do it to also highlight the individual that I have in front of me. And I think that every single
Well,
time
I'm not doing a good job at highlighting myself. Then
I'm enjoying this very much. Yeah, I love
you're
this.
enjoying this.
I'm very much having a great time. This is
I can do this every day.
This is a
honestly.
wonderful time. This is a wonderful way to spend a Saturday for me. Like a Saturday afternoon, if I don't have a fucking gig to prepare for,
Right.
this is a wonderful
Well,
time.
you say you wanted to bullshit, so I'm like, all right, let's bullshit.
Yeah, let's bullshit. You know what I mean? But like again, but that's the authenticity of the conversation, and that's what I love about the show. It's the authenticity of the conversation because you even if this camera wasn't rolling and my mics weren't being recorded, you and I would be still having this same fucking
exact
conversation. And
Yep.
so that's the whole point. As the whole point of this show is to show the organic authenticity of my engagement with another. Right now, my thing is when I look back on my own episodes, is I have to I'm looking back like, dude, shut the fuck up. Like I'm like telling myself.
Well, I wasn't going to tell you to do that.
Yeah,
but
no, yeah,
shut the fuck up.
I mean, it wouldn't be the first time, but yeah,
No, it's.
our conversations haven't been that bad. I don't think.
I mean, you say you wanted to bullshit. Now, if you want to talk more intellectual, like again, I can show you ways to make money. I can show you ways to live a better life. I can show you ways where you don't have any
So, I
bad
think- okay,
days
so
and
let's-
stuff
let's-
like I can get serious, but you say you wanted to bullshit, so I'm like, all right, let's bullshit.
No, but I think, but that's the beauty of what the conversation has been is that like there's kind of been both ends of the spectrum where it's been
Yeah.
where we've been able to bullshit each other, but we've been having serious points of, let's say, education or just kind of real points of like,
Sure.
hey, I feel this way about this, and so again. Like with two comedians bantering back and forth, yeah, we can talk shit and find whichever way to find the laughs in the dialogue. But this is where that genuine like conversation comes in, where it's kind of like it doesn't have to be laugh point, in whatever the fuck we're talking about. It's really just really flowing with.
I'll
what's
say
coming.
this: talking to you is more fun than most comedians because talking to most other comedians, it's they're constantly trying to out joke each other. We just banter.
Yeah.
I don't feel like I have to out joke you, or actually I don't try to like out joke comedians. When I'm off stage, I just let people do their thing. Right. Now if they're like boring, then I'll step in and be like, all right, you guys are not funny at all. Right. Normally it's my friends because they're very like, they're in finance and real estate and freaking, I don't know, IT and shit like that. So my friends off of the stage are very mellow. Right, so they're funny, but it's just I'm like, okay, we need to crank this up a little bit. So we'll crank it up a little bit. But with comedians, they're just trying to out joke each other. I remember one time I was in New York, and this dude was getting no laughs. It's literally 18 comedians. This dude is getting 0 laughs while talking to us, and then at one point he just started doing trust falls to get laughs. And nobody picked him up. He just fell to the ground every single time. He did 4 trust falls. Nobody helped picked him up. He fell down to the ground, and that was the funniest shit he did. And then I think he got brain damage, and I never saw him again after that.
Damn. It's that right there is like a such a testament of like, yo, there's a break in your psychosis where you really need that validation off the stage. You know what I mean?
You need that. And you know what's getting crazy?
Especially with your own, let's say, like your peers in the game.
And you know what's getting crazier for me is that lately, the less validation I seek, the less I want to be on stage. I haven't been I haven't been on. So I enjoy being on stage now, but it's not because of the validation, but it's because I enjoy making people laugh, and I know it kind of goes hand in hand with the validation.
Right.
But I don't care if somebody comes up to me after the show and talks to me. I think that's more of a validation that, hey, you did really good. I just want to make people laugh and leave. Like lately, I've only done 2 shows all month.
Yeah, I feel like I understand where you're coming from, because it's the same thing where it's kind of like I've let go of that expectation of trying to create a result that I'm trying to make happen or trying to please everybody, right? Like this is a game, well, stand-up comedy specifically, but just entertainment in general is a game that you just can't please everybody.
Right.
And so you're just trying to create the most positive common result, right? Like with whatever you're trying to lay down,
right?
You're just trying to create the most common positive result.
Yeah.
So like regardless if someone comes up and was like I loved you or you're fucking shit, like I almost more know how to deal with somebody telling me that I suck than someone telling me that I'm great.
You know why that is?
Why?
I think it's more of a man thing than a woman thing, honestly.
Well, I've changed. Like we're to the point where like I was that person that needed that validation.
Yeah.
I needed it. I was seeking it. I was like always looking for it. I would say like only in my 30s and then after some therapy that like I started to pull back and understand why I'm in the game that I'm in the first place.
Which was what? I want to hear it.
Because I was born for it.
Okay.
Simply put, it's not. Yeah,
I kind of got the same thing.
Yeah, I was born to be an entertainer. I was born to be the showman. That's literally the base all end all. That's why when I signed up for Kill Tony, like I'm not signing up with 200 plus other comedians. I'm a showman signing up with 200 plus other comedians. I don't categorize myself as a stand-up comedian.
You don't?
No, I don't.
So
I'm a showman first.
So what are you gonna do?
I'm a showman that does stand-up comedy.
Okay.
You know what I mean? And so, because my first things first, I'm an MC first. I am an MC first. That is where my skill set, my greatest skill set lies, is me becoming an MC. And even though the world thinks I'm a DJ, you know, like everyone's like, oh, you do all this DJ party, like I'm an MC first.
Okay.
Like I work with DJs. People contract me simply to handle the microphone and being able to direct the energy of the room and direct people to do what I need them to do.
Yeah.
You know, like, do I know how to DJ? Yes. Do I enjoy it? I did it last night. Yeah, I have fun when I DJ. Because when I get in DJ mode, I don't like to deal with people. You know? You know what I mean?
Everybody
I
has
just
requests.
I just love to, yeah. And people are like, can you play Taylor Swift now? You know, like, you know what I mean? Like, but for me is I do love the energy of what a DJ brings, but I'm an MC first, and what I'm capable of doing as an MC in that role is profoundly much more impactful than anything else.
Right.
Then skill set wise, like I'm a singer second, but like passionate wise, I'm a stand-up comedian second. Like
Gotcha.
I enjoy stand-up comedy more than I enjoy singing.
Right. But you're better at
But
singing.
I'm better at singing, even though I do love singing.
Yeah.
I'm better at singing than I am at stand-up comedy.
That's fair.
Yeah.
I'm barely okay at stand-up comedy, so.
Yeah, that's what I feel like too. I feel like I'm
Bro, no matter how many awesome shows I have, I get off the stage and I'm like never content.
Good. Here's a question for you, because you've produced a lot of shows. I've been on your shows before. You've been on mine. Do you prefer to be a host or a headliner?
I don't headline typically. I don't like host. I like hosting.
Me and you
more.
are exactly in that same boat.
I like hosting more.
I only headlined once on my own show.
Yeah. Headlining is I can do it. I know I can do it and I can kill it. I don't know what it is because I'm not ever content with my 20-30 minute spots, even though I'll go look at the tape and I'll have like people look at the tape and they'll be like, "Oh yeah, you're getting laugh every like 8 to 12 seconds." Like
Which is fucking pretty good.
And I'm very freaking methodical.
Mm-hmm.
I'm very like, I forget the word for it, but I'm very precise with it.
Like diligent, yeah.
Yeah,
like,
I'm very precise with it. But I'm never content with it. Because
it's like never good enough.
yeah, I'm just like, well, damn, dude. There's a bug in my mouth. There's
Just you. Just nose hairs. Those packing nose hairs.
Such your South Indian asshole. No, but for me, it's like the audience doesn't know where I screwed up in my set, right? I might say something, one word or two word here and there, or screw up a joke or
Right.
something.
Yeah.
Audience doesn't know. They're still laughing. But because of that 1, 2, 3,
You're
4
conscious of it.
Yes. I'm never happy with it. It never goes perfectly, and it just drives me
Because you're always
bonkers.
thinking about how it could have gone better, or what you could have said. That
Well, it's
would've-
just I'll screw up my own words like I do in this podcast constantly. No, I'm serious.
Yeah, I know 100%. I agree. I feel that. I feel that.
So because I struggle with that, I just don't want to sit there and record. I don't want to headline because I'm like, I feel like if I'm screwing, even if it's a line I screw up that nobody knows and people go home happy and laugh and get up after the show and meet me and buy my merch and stuff, I still don't like it. So I'm like, I keep screwing up 20, 30 minute sets. Maybe
Even when they buy your merch, you still don't like it. That is an interesting point.
I don't like it for me. I like that they enjoyed the show for them. I'm like, it could be better. It could be better. It could be better.
Sure. But again, if someone, even regardless of your general expectations of what you felt you could have delivered or whatever else, like if someone's not for me, I think that is the ultimate validation where they're willing to invest into your merchandise that goes in accordance to your brand and whatever you put down.
Yeah.
Like you don't feel that validation from that, regardless of
So
how
for
you
me-
felt that set went or not.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
For me, it's, I don't care if they buy my merch. I would rather have a perfect set than they buy my merch every time.
Okay, that's just a matter of you. Yeah, like okay, so that's just a matter. Then you're.
I'm a perfectionist.
Then we're just talking about your expectations.
It's all in
like
my head. It's all in my head.
Right. Your
Yeah.
own expectations. Like I think even just refuses to even accept that good favor or validation
Right. Because
coming towards the work that you
right,
put,
and especially like growing up, I was never like told, "Oh, good job, this, that, whatever." So now when I hear it, like it's like you know how it is, Brown
right.
household.
Yeah, we know how it is.
It's like you got a 99.
yeah.
Oh, you got 100.
Yeah.
Why not 101?
Yeah.
It's like, why not 200? I swear, one time I came home, I got 100 on my test. I'm like, finally, my mom's not gonna say anything. She goes, "Why didn't you get 200?" I'm like, what? How
She
much?
should know better. She should know better how the grading scale works. That's what I was saying.
I mean, I know she was.
That's what I'm gonna say
I
about
know
your
she.
Pakistani mother.
What?
That's what I'm gonna say about your Pakistani mother. She should know better.
She should
about the
know better.
goddamn grading scale. All right.
She goes, "Why didn't you get a 200?" I know she was being sarcastic, but it just drove me like insane that
Yeah.
day. Where I was
Because it's
just
like you were expecting that the fucking first time.
Yeah, I was like, okay, cool. I wasn't even expecting a compliment. I was just
Right.
like, no, I don't want to hear any. I don't want to hear any. Why not
Yeah.
100?
Yeah.
I just want to be like, oh, okay, cool.
Yeah.
I didn't want to hear anything.
Good job, beta.
That 100 was gonna be nothing.
Right.
Was supposed to. I wanted to get no compliments. I wanted to hear no insults. I just wanted nothing. That's all I wanted was nothing, and I got. You couldn't get a 200.
Right. Well, I think. So again, I think it was. It's so interesting because it's like as you get older, you realize like, man, your parents have no idea how to say I'm proud of you, right? Like they really don't know how to say like, hey, good job. This is what I wanted you to do, and you got it done. And
Yep.
you know what I mean? Like their way of validating their pride for you comes with like a lick of sarcasm in a sense where it's kind of like
Yep.
you fulfilled the expectation. This is what you're supposed to do.
Exactly.
You know?
And that's kind of how my mindset is. When somebody says they've been sober for 2 years, like it's like somebody saying, "Hey, I don't commit wire frauds anymore." Bitch, you're not supposed to be doing anyways.
Well, one affects you only, and one can detrimentally affect another. Like,
Well,
your
but I'm saying you're not
sobriety is
supposed
only
to
on
be-
you.
No, but your sobriety can affect other people too around you, right?
Okay, all right, fair. That's
But
fair.
but
That's
I'm
fair.
not even worried about anybody else.
Sure,
I'm
sure,
saying
sure.
your actions, your responsibilities. So if you're drinking, you're messing up your liver, you're drinking heavily, you're an alcoholic or you're druggy or whatever the hell you are, it's all on you, for you, about you. Okay? Same with wire fraud. It's like, okay, you're going to do this, there's going to be consequences. And it's like, what are you bragging about? I'm sober now. Like, you shouldn't have been doing drugs or alcohol anyways to begin with. You shouldn't have been committing wire frauds. Like, it's like, oh,
Okay.
I'm a reformed criminal. It's like, well, you shouldn't have been a criminal to begin with.
There we go.
But I understand some people just
Yeah.
get completely twisted in their head.
Yeah, well, I just think that also that when
so
you,
that's not to discount
also
that.
losing faith that the world has any type of like light to support you. You know what I mean? Like I think that there's
But
a
it's
lot
not world's responsibility.
right. I think, but again, that's the lack of awareness that naturally society has. Right, the world doesn't owe you shit.
Right.
From the day that you're born, the world does not owe you fucking anything, and ultimately, it is on your accord. And more people, especially now more than ever, are more accustomed to playing the victim to
Oh,
their
yeah.
own circumstances and have very little of awareness of the things that they're doing that put them in those circumstances,
Yep,
right?
yep.
Because as in the same token, in today's world, we have proven that you can literally have nothing, and find the resources to develop
I agree.
more than something.
Because think about it, like when people come over from overseas, they make the most
What
of
do
it.
they have?
They have like, practically like not much.
Yeah.
Right? They come here with practically not much, and they make something of it. And then people living here are freaking
Entitled.
Losers.
They feel entitled.
they act like losers. A lot of them, like, dude, like you don't understand how much people had to give up to come over here. They
Right.
used up every last penny to come over here.
Right.
Right? Whether legally or illegally, they came over here to make a better life. But
Right.
you were born in this country and you're telling me that somehow it's the society's fault that you are like that.
Yeah.
Because I'll tell you, I have.
The world never had my back.
Dude, my tenant called me. One of my tenants called me the other day crying because he can't make rent. So I evicted his ass. But yeah, get the hell out of my house if you can't pay. I would rather have my house sit empty than let some entitled prick sit in my house. Because he's like, man, nobody helped me. Nobody look out for me. I do everything on my own. I'm like, you're supposed to. I was like yelling at him on the phone. I was like, you're supposed to. He's like, you got people helping you. I was like, who the hell's helping me? I do all this myself. He's like, you got houses? I said, who do you think helped me build the houses?
Nobody.
Nobody came in.
Right.
Nobody came in and gave me shit.
Found
Nobody
the
came.
information.
I found the information and I utilized it. And honestly, people are worried about their credit scores and stuff like that. What do you need a credit score for in this life?
You know, it's so I appreciate you going, and I love that where we're going with this episode, because the time putting into the episode when I'm not even realizing how much time has gone by just shows how invested I am in the conversation. But that being said, very gracious to the management company and my landlords that I currently have, because to all definition, mine and my fiance's, we don't have any type of credit status that warrants any sort of real confidence of us being.
Right.
Shout out to my boy Mike Danielson of Keller Williams, because it was his word and validation. He happened to know the property managers and gave them like essentially like, no, you can trust this guy. Like even though on paper he doesn't look like he could really bring what is needed, you can trust this guy. And then we were living in Aubrey. I was on time with my rent, and we respected the property, whatever it was.
Right.
That we were able to when our lease was coming up, and I was like, "Do you happen to have any other options available?" And they're like, "Well, we have this one house in Frisco. It's a little bit more expensive, but it's not." All right.
Yep.
And so they were like, "Let's just come." And so them already understanding who I am as a tenant, regardless of what my credit situation was.
Yeah.
It's one of those things where it's kind of like. It's like getting a mortgage. When I had a guy who owns a credit agency, he was like, dude, mortgage companies, they're not really giving it towards the credit score. They're really giving it towards the individual. They've given mortgages to people with shitty credit scores.
That's because they do FHA, and FHA is a scam. FHA mortgages backed by the government. Actually, a lot of the government, Fannie Mae runs the conventional mortgages, and then FHA is like the Federal Housing Authority.
Fannie Mae, like the candy is like the chocolate.
There's no Fannie Mae candy. Is there a Fannie Mae candy? I've never heard of it.
Fannie Mae candy?
I don't know.
I think that's called Fannie Mae.
I don't know.
Hold on, let me.
You're the one on the computer.
Let me look this up. Fannie Mae.
But
are you thinking about Sally Mae? Sally Mae was
Freddie Mac and Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac. So what they do is they'll offer you FHA loan. They'll say you can do 3.5% down. Okay, cool, no problem. 3.5% down on a $100,000 house is $3,500, and you're like, oh, cool, I'm in a house. Okay, but what they do is they will charge you upfront 1.5% or 1.55% of the actual price of the house. 0.5%. No, is it?
Yeah, first
1.55%. You can look it up. I'm blanking out on the
first,
number.
I put in Fannie Mae. First thing that came up was mortgage financing.
Yeah. So no, but what they will do is they'll charge you PMI up front and for the entirety of the loan, and you can't get rid of it. They charge you all this money up front.
There is a Fannie Mae chocolate, but it's spelled differently. Fannie Mae is that you're thinking about FANNIE and then MAE. Mm-hmm. This Fannie Mae chocolate is MAY, but still Fannie Mae. So we're both correct.
Oh my god! Oh my god! Dude.
Thank you, Google.
That was so dumb. That was so dumb. Fucking going crazy over a candy over here. No, but dude, it's a scam. Nobody. If you can afford it, I would say put down 5% and get a conventional loan, because they will charge you so much more money up front, and too many people are uneducated and they do not get educated about this. You should always get a conventional loan with PMI if you can, depending on your credit and stuff. Of course, work out your numbers. or call me. I'll help you out. I just helped out a buddy of mine, and he paid only just his down payment, no closing costs, nothing. And that's, I mean, anyway. So people are not educated about how to invest, and honestly, going back to the credit score thing, you don't really need credit score in this country, except once you have a house and a car. Honestly, you should just be buying car cash anyways. But once you have a house and you're making your mortgage payments on it and stuff, or you have it paid off even, but you just need your credit score for a house and a freaking car at best. Other than that, unless you're going in like government job or finance job, you don't really need a credit score for anything. You can just, you know what you should do? Max out your credit cards. Get your nose job, get your trainer, get everything you need. Max out your credit card, make minimum payments, max it out, and then file for bankruptcy.
So let me before we close out this, I'm going to ask one more question in the world of real estate, renting versus owning.
Ooh,
You know, because in today's climate, like today's market and climate. And especially where like housing prices are going.
Ideally, right now, I would say, if you have the cash, buy it all cash.
Right.
If you don't have the cash, it's probably better to rent it out.
Mm-hmm. Because I mean, like,
no, sorry. I was thinking landlord terms. Okay, if you have cash, buy it all cash for your house, or even that's if you don't want any loans, you don't want to make any investments, nothing, just buy it cash and just sit there and pay your insurance and taxes every year. That's it. You're done for the rest of your life.
Yeah. But I mean, I just like, I think about operational costs, right? Like, I mean, like any business, there's operational costs.
Yeah.
Shit breaks, things happen, you know?
Yeah.
The first 15 days we were living in this, when we moved in, literally July 1st, no AC for 15 days.
That's unacceptable.
Yeah.
15
days.
So what'd you do?
You want to hear some bullshit too? Is that my which I mean I still have high respect for my property managers, but to the husband and wife duo that is, you know, kind of managing, you know, us, the last property we had, the guy was like, "Oh, we're not going to obligate you for the last month because our lease ended in July."
Yeah.
He said they weren't going to obligate us for our previous property for the last month. And then we paid the rent because they were like, for some reason they didn't update the platform, like the residence center, that, well, you know, how we pay our rent and blah blah blah, and then make a.
You have it on auto pay?
No. And so we paid the rent for Warbler, but essentially we shouldn't have had to, because that first month rent should have gone for this new property. So we would only had to cover the difference, you know, of the couple $100,
yeah.
and then the difference of the security deposit to whatever they took out from the last one, right? Still charged us 15 days from the last property that they didn't get a tenant in. They charged it for 15 days while we did not have AC.
Yep.
In this property.
So
I'm like currently arguing. So right now, like my only balance is literally the balance of what they're charging me for those 15 days.
Why are you paying them though? How are you paying them?
Directly, like through their app, like through my checking account.
So if it's not auto pay, why did you pay?
Because I, in the first place, I thought was that it was prorating from the previous month. Like because I was in the middle of the move and everything like that. So I was like, oh, maybe we have to cover for Warbler and then we just pay the differential for this new property. So either way, I'm like, because it came in like, hey, you owe this, right? Like it didn't come in for the old property. I was like, oh, maybe they're, I don't know, just for this last month. So again, a lot of it is like realm of communication that created a lot of discrepancy of how it's supposed to happen. Either way, they took that money that I paid for the rent, and rather than throwing the full amount, they were like, "Oh no, we're gonna charge you for each day that we didn't have a tenant. You forced us to come in and move in July 1st, and then said that we weren't obligated for the last month of rent, and then charged us for those 15 days while not having AC in here." And I'm hearing from property managers, landlords, all that kind of stuff. They were like, well, you should actually get credit because, dude, we're having over.
Did they put it in writing 30 days prior?
No, we.
When did your lease expire?
So the lease was going till the end of July.
When did they tell you can move out early?
Well, because when you saw the property, it was like maybe June 12th or 13th or something like that. So we had like.
So that gives you
2.5
30
weeks.
days. Yeah, so that gives you 30 days.
Less than 30 days.
Yeah, give or take 30 days. Basically, what they're trying to do is they're just trying to manipulate the lease where they get the money from your rent over there.
But again,
and
it's
over
like
here.
my problem was the integrity of what was being told to me.
Right.
Because they literally, the guy was
Dude,
like,
if they weren't even okay, but see, the house overall seems like it's in good condition. It's just the AC that was the problem.
yeah,
Okay. Well, hopefully nothing. Was there any issues at the other house?
no.
Yeah. So I think they're just shitty landlords.
They charged me $550 for professional carpet cleaning, which was in their lease. And I mean, even though we cleaned the carpets, vacuumed, and everything like that.
You shampooed it.
No, we didn't shampoo.
You're supposed to shampoo it.
Yeah, that's what we got charged. Was
It costs about like $400 some dollars
it
to
was like
shampoo.
so for the rooms that they had. So I was like, all right, fine, take that out of the security deposit, and then they put that difference into our security deposit for here, and then I covered the balance for that. But they charged us for each day of rent at the old property for those first 15 days in the same exact time that we did not have AC. And I'm like, when you already told me that wasn't obligated for the last
So
month.
what do they say?
They keep trying to fucking like deviate the conversation. They're like, oh, well, we only charged you for 15 days. I'm like, you charged me for 15 days in the first place. That's the whole argument, even though I've gotten on 2 different occasions that we weren't obligated for the month of July for our old property.
Is it actually property managers or the homeowners?
No, it's property managers.
Okay.
Because especially when it came to that whole issue, they were talking about how they had to talk to the owners, blah, blah, blah. And then they were trying to go through the warranty, but the warranty was taking fucking forever. And then eventually they just had to call a HVAC.
Yeah, I see what they're trying to do. It's crazy. So these are like inexperienced. I wouldn't say
They
inexperienced.
wouldn't say that. They
No, the property manager I'm sure is fine, but the owners of this house, if they have a home warranty on a place like this, it's because they know shit's gonna break down. Okay. Or they're just too inexperienced to want to pay, so they're like, it's cheaper. So do you pay the $75, $50 fee when people come out here to fix stuff, or no?
No.
Okay. So then basically what they want to do is make sure that they're only paying the $75, $50 service charge, whatever it is, and not have to worry about anything else. Right? And they might have too many properties where they can just afford to do this.
Yeah, they do have a lot. I mean, that I know they have.
Not the property manager, the owner of this house.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah.
But the property managers, they manage.
Because I'll tell you this, when I don't have home warranties on any of my. I have insurance. I don't have home warranties on any of my properties because they pull dick moves like this all the time. They'll come in and it's like, oh, the coil is this, and you didn't do this.
Yeah,
and
it's there's always so much discrepancy of information.
And they're little cunts over there. So, so 2 of my houses had AC go out. Right, first one went out. The next day, I had an AC guy over there. I said, put a new one in. Cost me like $6,000. The other one went out, $8,000. The other one took 2 days. The first one took like 1 day, or the second one took 2 or 3 days. But I had my guy out there. He's like this South Indian guy too. His name's Abraham. He's really good.
Sounds right.
Yeah, he was there immediately. Put in a new AC. He saved me money. He's like, oh, actually, you don't need to replace this part. This is covered in your warranty. It's just going to be $250 for this. Got a whole thing. It looks like a new AC, basically.
Yeah.
So he took care of it, right? And
but like as a landlord, though,
so it cost me $250 to fix that AC instead of paying $600 a year for everything else in the house.
Right. But what I'm saying is though that like because in actuality, especially when you're dealing with the heat that Texas have, not having AC is detrimental. It's dangerous. Naturally,
right. And you got
like
5 people in here.
Yeah, and it's 98 degrees. And then, well, granted, they gave us individual like AC units, and that we could only keep in our bedrooms. these AC units wouldn't do shit for like the
Right.
common areas.
Right.
And so we could only keep it in the bedroom. So for the first 15 days, that's like we couldn't.
Everybody was in timeout.
Yeah, everyone was in timeout, bro. And we want to watch a family movie. All the kids and the dog is in our bedroom and shit. Like, dude, we literally could not live.
Imagine you didn't have the dog.
Yeah, shut the fuck up. This dog brings us together. We love our mojo. We love our mojo.
What about love? I thought love should bring y'all together.
Brings more love. Mojo love.
I don't get it.
Mojo love.
I don't get the pets. No, I want to understand. I want to understand what is the fascination with people and their pets.
You know what, dude? I'll just say this, dude. Like, the way this little furry nugget is, like, he does emotionally know how to place himself. Like, he has his moments where he's a little bratty and he's kind of like, he's like a kid. He's almost like a little kid.
Yeah.
But he certainly does bring us together, because it also taught the kids a lot of structure. It started like
really
teaching him how to train him, right? Like properly training him, making sure that he understands, hey, it's good to piss and shit outside, not inside. You know what I mean? And all of that comes from proper training and structure. And so teaching them that, right? They're, especially it's summertime,
right.
They're the ones that are, so they're having to focus on being able to make sure that they're taking care of this energy that really can't take care of themselves, and make sure that they're giving a proper like basis and support that is like keeping him on track of doing and operating the way he's supposed to.
Yeah.
And so like the kids they're just so now in tune and being like, oh, maybe, he doesn't need to go outside. Or, he's got too much energy. He needs to calm down. And being able to like really navigate this outside energy outside of their own. And then at the same time, it's like, he really does bring us all together. He's really been a really big tie that has brought us all together. We have this little commonality point of him, and because it's, and he's really just been, I don't know. He's just this energy that is so he's dependent on us, but provides this just variant energy, and then like, I don't know. It's one of those things that's, it's almost hard to describe, but like no person or living being in this house is going to listen to me like that little dog. Nothing listens to me like the way he does, Nobody takes my words as directly and to heart and shows me with physical affirmation, I'm sorry, like more than my Mexican stepchildren.
I think you have mental illness. You need that emotional support animal. The way you talk about it. Never mind. I take it back. You're retarded. You win.
That's right.
You win.
That's right. The ESA is for real, dog. So, anyways, we are at over 2 hours in this episode, which happens
sorry.
Don't apologize. It happens very rarely. It happens
Really?
very, 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 very rarely. The only person that went over 2 hours was Diego Morales for episode 50. So
I like how you let him put his little Texas Chuckle sticker on.
Yeah, the pinatas from the comedy virgins, this little microphones from Noah Shark Robertson. Yeah, man. I mean, I got all of my little mementos, but
I didn't bring you shit, so
that's okay. I didn't expect anything anyway from Pakistanis. So,
yeah, freaking Indians.
Yeah, no borders, no gifts.
No.
Let it be known. Let it be known.
I like that.
There we go. So
I did a show this weekend in New York, and it was all Indians.
Oh yeah,
it was all Indians.
How disappointed were they?
No, I freaking murdered it.
Oh, there we go.
I murdered it. But they were like, I got up on stage and I was like, this my friend Jitin, he's hilarious. He goes, so I had like this chick with me, and he goes, I see a girl like this, and I'm like, damn it, why did they split the borders?
There we go.
So I was just like, I laughed. That was like hilarious. The way he said it, the delivery was just.
Oh, he was a comedian.
Yeah, he's a comedian.
Oh, okay, perfect. Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, Sibb, do you remember how we end the show?
Oh, hold on. You want some advice? or something?
I
Last
definitely
words
don't.
or something?
There we go. Last word. So I allow my guests to leave off with the final statement, and how I phrase it is that if this could possibly be the last thing you ever say on camera or audio platform, either way, you close out the episode with just your final thoughts to the world. Sibb Razz.
This
for now.
I totally forgot we did this. I don't want to do this. Like, people don't listen anyway, so what's the point?
Well, I'm
Not
listening.
listen to your podcast, but I'm saying people are.
No, you haven't. Shut up.
Okay. I want this to be impactful. Now, like, the perfectionist side of me is like really,
Reeling.
yeah.
You're reeling, trying to find the best words possible.
to close it out.
I just want you to go off the top of the dome of what you feel, final words to send off to the world on this show, your episode, round 2. Sibb Razz, for now, in his branding.
Just go to legendofsib.com. Also, if you need any advice, no, but low-key, despite what you heard here, if you low-key need help with housing or, okay, I'm not offering housing, but like if you need help buying a house or you don't know what your finances
Look at the
look
camera
like.
there. Your camera's right here.
that's okay. So if you don't know, okay, last words. If you need help
For
with
the
life,
third time, last words, go ahead.
for the 8th time, last words. If you need help with, if you're trying to figure out how to buy a house, you need help with life stuff, workout, gym, whatever. I know I look kind of fat right now because I'm going through some shit. But overall, if you need help living a better life, despite what the BS you heard here, I can definitely make an impact on your life. And if I don't, there's a money back guarantee. And the money is, well, I'll do it for free. I don't charge anything ever. And I just want to see people thrive and get ahead in life. So